The third and final week of the preseason is here. A fourth exhibition game is a thing of the past. It's the Jaguars and the Saints next on Madden Football.
Well, folks, it is always a celebration here in New Orleans, and we are just outside of the Hoppin' French Quarter at the Caesars Superdome. Tonight, the final dress rehearsal, week 3 of the preseason. And we got a good matchup on tap, as it'll be the Jacksonville Jaguars taking on the New Orleans Saints.
Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis with you, and now we sit, CD, at week 3 of the preseason, and this is the one that the coaches...
Tyler Bass about ready to get us going.
And we are underway from the Superdome.
And able to get this out to the 25.
And here come the Saints for their opening drive. And leading them out there, their 6'5" quarterback.
I still remember when he was drafted, there was a little bit of controversy about how high he was selected by the New York Giants. But his talents were revealed. He can make every throw in the book. Surprisingly good athlete. As long as he takes care of the football and doesn't turn it over, he can really make plays.
Here we go.
Jones looking to throw it on the first play.
And incomplete to open things up. You know, last week I remember asking you, what would an offensive coordinator be looking for week 2 of the preseason? Now we're in week 3. Defensive coordinator-wise, what's he looking at?
For the most part in preseason, you're playing pretty basic stuff, pretty vanilla defenses. You're looking for guys that play with abandon, that just go out and make plays, and kind of let their athletic ability take over in order for you to notice them.
It'll be a Saints first down on a gain of 16 yards. Now Jones. He gets this one complete to Traquan Smith. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. Back-to-back nice plays, 12 yards that time and a first down. Throwing Jones.
And that one too wide and incomplete.
Nice progress down the field, was halted by that incompletion. They could try for some safe yards here to get things moving again, or keep throwing it and pushing it downfield to try and pick up bigger yardage.
2nd and 10.
They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. He's got Smith here. Yeah, he will go out right near the 35-yard line. The Saints passing game in sync and moving the football. It's a first down.
I think that's a big pickup for a first down, because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a first down, executed it to perfection. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down, 2nd and right at a yard.
A nice run here early on. It doesn't take a great play caller to realize you want to establish a guy of his caliber who runs like this early, because they'll pay dividends as the game progresses.
Here's Jones looking to throw on 2nd down. They get 5 out of that one, and he moves the chains.
Well, whatever script they put together for this offensive drive, Charles, seems to be working. Curious to see if this defense will make any adjustments here.
Things certainly going according to plan, aren't they? I mean, the way they're advancing the football, it's like they're on the practice field having one of their better days.
And he'll take it into the end zone for the Saints touchdown.
Brian Robinson Jr.
A 21-yard touchdown run.
And the Saints put the night's first points on the board as they take the
take it in for the score.
And how about setting the tone right away? Everyone talks about wanting to do that, but you always hear it in every locker room. First 5 minutes of the game, who's going to set the tone? Who's going to take control? Guess who just did?
Well, now on the next drive, when you score that quickly or you're scored that quickly again, you probably feel like you need to respond.
Yeah, without a doubt. In other words, you've actually put the pressure even more so on your opponent.
Extra point up and good by Dicker.
And it's now a 7-0 game.
Here's Dicker now as he'll send this one away. Taken at the goal line. And he will make it back to the 15, and that's it. Good coverage there by the kick team.
So here are the Jags now set to get their first drive.
They're led by the #1 overall pick in the 2021 draft, Trevor Lawrence.
The word is potential, potential, potential. Think about this guy from the time he was in high school, one of the top prospects going to college, coming out of college, mentioned as a generational type quarterback. He looks the part. Tall, big arm, surveys the field, and can take off and run when under duress.
On second down, right back to Hunt.
And he'll find some space up to about the 25. It'll go as a gain of 7 on the play, and it sets up a 3rd and inches situation.
And after that type of a run, there's some talking going on down on the field, but it's not trash talking. The guy who just carried the ball, he's going back and telling his offensive.
And he's able to pick up the first down here before he goes down at the 26.
And what a weapon to have when you can use your quarterback as a short yardage runner and pick up first downs.
Counting down toward the midway point in quarter 1.
On first down, they'll run with Hunt.
Looking for a seam, but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it.
Brought down by Willie Gay.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
And now they'll throw it with Lawrence. Got a man, that's Richie James. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 16 yards that time on the pickup for the Jags and a first down.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they had planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
And he'll get what he can up the middle, 3 yards. That'll bring up second down. And they'll come up 2nd and 7. Lawrence will throw. And that nearly an interception here on this opening drive, but he gets a reprieve. It's 3rd down.
Those are the ones you dream of as defenders. I think if he gets eyes on the ball a little bit earlier, he might come away with it. Instead, it's going to wind up as just an incomplete pass.
And the pressure gets to Lawrence, and he'll go down. Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game. 4th down, and out comes Jordan Stout here to punt.
Jamal Agnew is deep to return it. Oh, it's a wobbler here. So that'll be marked down as a 19-yard punt. And the Saints will take over with a first down and 10. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Throwing to start the drive. Jones. Pass incomplete.
So many times we've seen him try to escape the pocket and do something with his legs, but in this case, the pressure was too intense and he made the wise choice to just get rid of the football and make sure no one was going to get it.
To throw once more on 2nd and 10. Jones. Oh, he'll want that one back. Incomplete. He doesn't drop too many in that department. 3rd down. He was waving his arms, wanted the football, but he dropped it. And that reminds me of a story you told me from your days at Tennessee. We don't need to mention the other guy's name, but when he dropped an open pass that you blew coverage on, what'd you say to him?
Yeah, it's really not right since I blew coverage, but since he dropped the pass, I said, well, maybe next time.
Jaguar pressure and a Jaguar sack.
Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game.
And this is what you've got to do against a quarterback like him. You've got to keep him in the pocket and not let him get to the perimeter, because once he gets outside, that's where he can really hurt you.
So they're forced to punt on fourth as this one's away. Here's James returning.
That'll go as a punt of 42, 7 on the return. And the Jaguars go on offense, first down and 10. Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive.
Over on the sideline, hoping to hit that reset button between possessions. Last time out, they had to punt it away. This time hoping to finish this thing off for the end zone.
2 yards the loss, second and 12. Plays like we just saw there. That's why they're up right now. And the defense, they're doing their job.
Yeah, it starts with the guys up front. So when you talk with GMs who are putting together a team, a lot of them say we're going to build from the inside out, because if you control the line of scrimmage, you control the rest of the ball game, and that's what we're seeing here. They're actually playing in the offense's backfield, not necessarily just playing in the line of scrimmage.
They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete.
They'll put a check mark in the box where the defense coordinator was saying, how well can we stay with these receivers if we're in man coverage? Because he just did it on that one, force the incompletion. That'll allow him to get bolder with his pass rush, won't it?
Absolutely, frees up your guys elsewhere. Now the throw on third down, knocked away and incomplete.
2 drives won't tell the story of this game, but you absolutely have to like how this defense has played thus far. They have yet to allow this offense to get on track in this one.
Now look at this, 4th and 12, and they're going to line up to go for it.
And they'll try and throw for it with Lawrence. Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Kelvin Joseph.
And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown.
The third and final week of the preseason is here. A fourth exhibition game.
Tyler Bass about ready to get us going.
And we are underway from the Superdome.
And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line.
And here come the Saints for their opening drive. And they'll be led out by their 6-year quarterback.
We knew about the great mind coming out of Duke, and we saw the athletic ability and the potential. Watching it all come together and get better with each passing year, that's been fun. He can throw it deep, throw it short, and, of course, take off out of the pocket and beat you with his legs as well.
Jones looking to throw right away. They'll get that to Charbonnet.
And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 13 yards on the game's opening play.
Nice little nifty play for him there. Yeah, that's the ability to read a defense and utilize players that don't often get picked up in coverage easily. And I'm talking about being able to use the backs out of the backfield. Because I know that when I used to cover, hey, we got everybody oh, he just snuck out there, and they just got a nice first down there.
What do we love to say? Get those backs into space, right? And they were able to do that there. Nice pickup on first down.
That good for 22 and a first down.
Well, no slow start here. A couple nice chunk plays back-to-back.
I love the momentum that they're showing here early because they did it both ways, right? Threw the ball on first down for a nice chunk of yardage. Came right back and ran the ball. Looks like they got the defense set back on their heels. Let's see if they can keep this moving.
On the tackle, it was the West Virginia man, Kaiser White.
That's a really nice, tough run inside, and they gained 5 yards on it. And to be frank about it, most offenses don't expect to get 5 yards on a play call like that. So when they do, they go back to their huddle with a little pep in their steps. They're starting to think that they're starting to dominate the line of scrimmage.
Jones. Oh, and that is incomplete.
You get a sense of what this game plan might be. They think they can take a few home run shots against this defense. They tried it there on the opening drive, but that ball's incomplete.
They come up now 3rd and 5 following the incomplete pass. Looking to throw. Jones. He's got his target. That's complete. And he is going to have a Saints first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. Pretty solid opening drive here, Charles. They worked in the run game, the pass game, just steadily getting yards, and now they've got it inside the red zone here with an opportunity.
And the only thing they don't have so far is points. But the way that they're moving the ball now, that shouldn't take much longer. And they've established a great balance so far. Running, passing, doing what they want on offense.
Now Jones on 1st and 10. His throw incomplete.
But they certainly did a nice job there, picking him up out of the backfield and then running stride for stride with him. That's good coverage, and it led to an incompletion.
Now a 2nd and 10.
They'll look to throw again. Eluding the pressure right. And he'll slide to a halt here. Still a little shy of the first down marker. He'll end up getting 5 out of that, but now they're looking at 3rd down.
The plan was clearly to challenge them by sending a blitz on 2nd down, but even the extra guys couldn't catch him in the backfield, though. He doesn't scramble for a first, but he does get the last laugh by evading the blitz and getting beyond the line of scrimmage.
And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, New Orleans. Daniel Jones, a 6-yard touchdown run.
And the Saints.
Nothing like understanding where your escape patches are as a quarterback. Here he's looking, but he knows he doesn't want to force anything. So when nothing avails itself, he slips past the rushers, takes it right up the middle, and takes it into the end zone.
For the extra point, Cameron Dicker.
And it's good as the Saints have a 7-0 lead. So that drive goes 8 plays, and it's capped off by a touchdown run of 6 yards.
From a yard or 2 deep, here comes a return. And he will be brought down here inside the 20. Good coverage as he's dropped at the 17.
So here are the Jags now set to get their first drive.
They're led by the #1 overall pick in the 2021 draft, Trevor Lawrence.
And you want to talk about enormous expectations being placed on a quarterback. How about what Trevor Lawrence faced coming out of college? But the good thing for him, he's used to it. He had the same type of expectations late in high school and going to Clemson. They always expect him to be a franchise savior, whatever team he joins. And to his credit, he shouldered those expectations and is doing everything in his power to follow through.
He's stopped in his tracks by Ahmad Gardner.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
Second and 5.
They stay on the ground. Again, it's Hunt.
And he'll get this to about the 34, a gain of just 3. Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
Third and 3. Now Lawrence.
It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
Nice job there forcing that incompletion. This is going to be a fun battle throughout this game. Watching him try to take away that area of the field.
And now a low liner. I think he mishit it.
$13 yards the tally on the return there.
And the Saints will have a short field in front of them. They take over here, 1st and 10. Jones throwing to start the drive. And his throw here's incomplete.
Well, they've got man coverage on the outside, and my scouting report on these DBs tells me that they love to take matters in their own hands. They want man coverage, not zone. And there was good coverage there that forced the incompletion.
Throwing again on 2nd and 10. Jones had his hands on it but dropped it. The rookie making a little bit of a rookie mistake. 3rd down.
We know it's not an easy job to go out and catch passes when people are trying to tackle you and knock the ball away. But the bottom line is that's a pass he's got to have and a pass he should have caught.
Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. Down the left sideline.
Touchdown, New Orleans.
Jamal Agnew.
48 yards.
And the Saints lead this now 13-0 here in the opening quarter of the ballgame. Another impressive drive, so they're 2 for 2, 2 touchdowns. Charles, a great start to this ballgame for them.
And one of the words that's really worked its way into our lexicon is stacking. They've stacked momentum each time out, not only on offense. Between those touchdowns, defense held, forced a punt to get the ball back, and they played awfully well in this one. Both sides playing at optimum level.
Extra point up and good by Dicker.
And that'll make the score 14-0.
Now, after the Dicker field goal, he's back out, ready to send it away.
Here's Richie James on the return. So time to see Jacksonville again on offense for the 2nd time here in this game. They've been outplayed early, no question. Down 14-0 already as they come up 1st and 10. To begin the drive, here's a handoff to Hunt. And he's brought down at the 22 after a gain of 2, and it brings up 2nd down.
Lawrence now off the bootleg.
They'll roll him out right. And he's going to lose a yard or 2, taken down behind the line.
They'll come to the line here needing 9 yards to pick up the 1st.
Tough ask here. They're going to go for it on 4th down and 9.
And they'll indeed go for it. Here's Lawrence. Able to find the open man. That's complete.
And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. A curious decision to go for it, but it pays off with a 1st down.
Hunt will try going up the middle. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up second and 11. Now a timeout called for by the offense. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. So after the loss of a yard, they'll look to push forward here on second down and 11. Now Lawrence to throw. Got an open man. That's David Njoku, the tight end. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. 22 yards there, a first down.
It's a well-designed play here. 3 wide receivers in the formation. They're all going to run deep routes to put pressure on the safeties. And then they let their tight end cut his route off a little shorter and work toward the middle of the field. That's a difficult route to try to defend.
And he'll get it inside the 35.
I think if we put together a job description for a middle linebacker, we would start with being able to hold down things in the middle of the line of scrimmage and be able to take on blockers. But how about the guys who can go sideline to sideline and make plays?
Love a guy that can do that. We saw a perfect example of it right there. A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete. Not sure what happened out there, but it looked like the timing was a little off on that throw.
Well, you know I'm a defender, so what am I going to say?
Great defense.
Darn right. They did something to disrupt that timing.
On third down, Lawrence. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. Oh, and one of the linemen on the other side has got it. And his guys are going to get the football at their own 47-yard line. He was under duress, surveying, trying to find somebody to get the ball out of his hands. In the meantime, the defense, they took it out of his hands.
And when the ball snapped, I know exactly what the defense is thinking. Get a sack, put him on the ground. But when you can also knock the ball free, well,
Jones in trouble here, and down he goes. Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game. That's a step in the right direction defensively here because you're facing this sizable deficit. They're going to need more plays like that. A good sack, though. Good effort there.
And what you're hoping is, as you said, a step in the right direction, and that means it's something to build on. So you get the first one, and hopefully that can ignite them, and now they can make a few more plays and get back into this game.
And he's going to be brought down on what will be the final play of this first quarter. 14-0 the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports. Ready for the second quarter from New Orleans. It's the Saints in possession as they've got it with a third down coming up. In search of 4 yards here to pick up the first down. From the gun on third down, Jones. And he's going to find his man out of the backfield. That's complete. And he is going to have a Saints first down by about a yard. It's a gain of 5 on 3rd and 4.
Another catch for him there on this drive, Brandon, and it looks like they're going to utilize him out of the backfield any way they can. And that time they pick up a first down. So now on defense, do you assign a man to him and try and cover him before he gets going?
Jones now throwing on first down. From the 33, here's second and a yard. Snell on the shotgun handoff. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down.
2nd and 1 is often an invitation to take the big shot downfield. I'll bet the offensive lineman said, are you kidding? We just get on our backs and let's go get the first down. They love being physical.
Rush coming, and he's taken down. That's sacked by Khalil Mack.
Okay, I'm not sure you could actually draw a better pass rush than that one right there. Nowhere to go outside. He had to keep backing up and backing up and backing up. Eventually dropped for a huge loss.
So 2nd and long, and got to be careful not to fall out of field goal range. Another try after the first down sack. Jones. Oh, he'll want that one back. Incomplete. He doesn't drop too many in that department. 3rd down.
Well, partner, guaranteed they approach this play with the idea of making up ground to make 3rd down manageable. Unfortunately, with that incompletion, right back where they started on the last snap. Now they need a big third down play in order to pick up the yardage needed.
And now the third down throw incomplete as well. Jacksonville's pass defense holds serve. Fourth down. These offensive starters still out there in the second quarter. You would think the plans for them to at least play into the third quarter, if not all the way through it.
Yeah, it might go by feel. If they have a really good first drive to start the third quarter, they might pull them after that. If not, might leave them out there a little bit longer, but I'll guarantee this, they'll be gone by the start of the fourth quarter.
And his kick is right there. It's good, and that will extend their lead even further.
So the defense are able to force their first turnover of the game, and then they add on to that by getting the field goal.
And you don't just want to take the ball away from your opponent, partner. You want to make them hurt as well. And if you don't score yourself on defense, turn it over to your offense and have them put points on the board.
And that decision to bring it out ends up not being a good one. Costs him about 5 yards as he's tackled at the 20.
Out comes the Jaguar offense now as they get set to take over. And we don't want to call this desperation time, especially in the second quarter, but you're down.
You don't want to.
I know, but let me finish.
Okay, my bad.
You're down 3 scores already. You've done nothing offensively, nothing on the scoreboard. That's not a good combination.
I think you just called it desperation time. I think you did. But let's face it, you mentioned this to me in a break earlier in the game. The energy level hasn't been there right from the start. We've noticed that. They've got to find a way to get on their toes and start punching instead of retreating, to use a boxing analogy.
The pressure gets to Lawrence, and he'll go down. Josh Sweat rushing in and bringing him down to the ground. These sacks now, they're starting to pile up, Charles. And that front seven defensively, they had their way with this offensive line.
And I think at this stage, we have to start thinking about different play calls. We've got to start helping this quarterback out because the entire game he's been under siege. I don't care what the down and distance. They've got to get the ball out of his hands a lot quicker. It's going to be another frustrating end to a drive here. This offense, they've not been able to get anything going in this first half. And now it's going to be time to gather on the sidelines and try and figure out what's going wrong. Who has an idea? Who has a plan? Time to implement it.
A curious decision to go for it, but it pays off with a first down.
Hey, Ron!
Here's Lawrence to throw.
Steps away to his left. Now he's going to send this one deep right side.
All right, rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. Sauce Gardner picks it off. He may go.
And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown.
Wow, this one, it is getting out of hand early. They add a pick six to the ledger now. 3-score lead still in the first half.
And all that celebrating that you see and hear from those defenders is not just because they scored a touchdown on a pick six. It's because they're pitching a shutout in this one. Every defender's dream.
Extra point up and good by Dicker.
And a rout is on here in this first half. Now James returning.
And he had no room to run as he's tackled down inside the 20.
And out now comes Jacksonville as they get ready to go. They are looking to make a bit of a 180. They are sputtering right now.
And frankly, I think it's time to call your playmakers together and say, all right, guys, we're going to lean on you through this patch. We need you to get us back on track and get us going in the right direction. So you're calling plays geared to them. Not necessarily what you look at your plays, oh, this hurts the defense. I want the ball in the hands of X, Y, and Z and see if we can move forward.
So don't get too cute. Go to the playmakers.
And this was a little bit of the knock on him coming out of college. Sometimes the concentration can wander a bit. This should have been a big play, but somehow he's not able to corral it.
On second down, here's Lawrence.
And his throw is incomplete.
Lots of incompletions on first and second down. It certainly seems like a reflection of what we've seen so far in this game. The defense, quicker to the punch so far. Let's see if they can get something going here on third down.
Now yet another incompletion here as they fail to connect on third. We've seen this offense do some unconventional things thus far, but they couldn't go for it on fourth down here, could they?
Could someone patch us into the head coach's headset? Punt the ball.
The 3 straight incompletions, they don't care. That hasn't dissuaded them. They're going to go for it on 4th. They're indeed going for it as they look to throw.
Lawrence hit and the ball is free. And this is going to be recovered by a member of the offense, but whistles come in. Remember, on 4th down, that becomes a dead ball if anyone other than the fumbler himself recovers. So it'll come back to the spot of the fumble, and that will mean that's going to wind up being a turnover on downs.
Now a throw to the end zone on 1st down, but it winds up incomplete.
Partner, this is almost an unwinnable spot for a defense. They have to come right out for a 1st and goal trying to stop them. But let me hold on a second. Let me take that back real quick. They can win here if they force a field goal try. Still a long ways away from that happening, but that has to be what they're thinking right now.
Here we go.
On 2nd and goal, Jones.
Oh, man, for him to be that wide open and drop it. Sometimes you have just too much time on your hands, right? You end up thinking way too much, and your hands get shaky.
And yes, he's a tight end, but that's a catch he should have made.
A chance to really put this game out of reach. Here's 3rd and goal.
Back to throw, Jones.
Oh, he had him. He was open, but he couldn't get it to him. It's incomplete.
How about the defensive stand here from 1st and goal? 3 straight incompletion.
Yeah, I think people are wondering why didn't they try and run it at least once in there. But once the first incompletion happened, it's almost like they were committed to throwing the ball from then on out.
And his kick is indeed good.
So the starting field position was terrific following the surprising turnover on downs, but the end result, only 3 points.
Simply stated, I think you have to look at that as a missed opportunity.
So after the touchdown, here's Dicker out to kick this one off. And we see James. He will not return it, and they'll bring it out to the 25. Jacksonville set to go again offensively.
And last time, went for it on 4th, didn't get it. See if they can pick themselves up off the mat and do better this go-around.
Sometimes I have this vision of coaches writing notes to themselves before a game. And sometimes that note says, be aggressive, stay aggressive. Maybe that's what we saw in the last possession.
Yeah, they were very aggressive. This time, will it result in points? We'll find out.
But this defense is certainly organized and playing off of each other because the rush is providing pressure and the coverage is forcing incompletions and capitalizing on mistakes. When you get every level on defense hitting it once, you get first-half scores just like this one.
And they nearly get this all the way to midfield. Mark him down at the 49.
On 1st down, Lawrence.
Throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete.
So many times when we talk about coverage, we're just about a defender running with a receiver, but a big part of it is understanding where the football is, finding it. In this case, when it arrived, it wasn't a surprise, and he was able to bat it away.
It's a throw again is Lawrence.
And the Saints pressure gets him. Brought down for a sack. They push him back 8 yards that time on 2nd down.
2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. They need 18 yards here on 3rd down. On play action, Lawrence.
And the pressure gets to him again. The Saints going to call the first of their timeouts.
So as they talk it over, we step aside. Out now is the punter, Jordan Stout.
And here's a very low line drive, almost whiffed on it. The big fella. Touchdown, New Orleans. A 62-yard punt return.
And the Saints continue to pull away here in this first half.
Well, it certainly feels like that kind of game, doesn't it? No matter what they do, it's going to work. That might be the absolute crusher right there. A punt return for a touchdown.
Feels like there's been a lot of crushers in this game. This lead just gets bigger.
Extra point up and good by Dicker.
And the route is on here in this first half. So his big play capability in full display there as he's able to return that punt for a touchdown. So after the punt return touchdown, let's see what their opponents can do with this kickoff. Oh, good-looking return set up here. Richie James, he might score. He will score. Touchdown.
I'm not sure that they have illusions right now of, okay, we're going to score 8 times in a row and we're going to be terrific. But to get one, that was huge for them. That has to feel much better right now.
And you do have, we're still in the first half. You do have the entire second half. There's something about that goose egg that just looked bad on that board, but now they've broken it.
Yeah, broken through. Can they maintain the pace? We'll see as we go along.
So let's try this again. After the kick return TD, here's yet another kickoff.
And his guys will get the football right at the 20-yard line. Out onto the field comes New Orleans. And not an abundance of time remains on the clock, Charles, but you would think more than enough to try to extend this lead before intermission.
And when you're talking about extending the lead, I think you're talking about aiming for the end zone because there is plenty of time for that. The fallback is to get 3. But in your mind, you put 6 on the board right before the half. That's a heck of a dagger and great momentum to carry into the locker room.
So, Charles, no turnovers yet for this offense, but those sacks now, they're starting to pile up.
And one thing usually leads to another because they've got to figure out how the offensive line and everyone else involved in protection can keep their quarterback upright and allow him a chance to throw the ball downfield.
They'll send a receiver in motion left. Second down and a run by Robinson.
Gets by him, and now a little daylight.
Off to the races. Moving inside the 20.
And he'll take it into the end zone for the Saints touchdown.
Brian Robinson Jr., 88 yards. And the Saints will extend their lead in the final minute of the half.
You get in a second and long situation down here in the red zone, I'd say most defensive coaches would think pass, let's bring some pressure. So this is kind of a tendency breaker here to hit him with something on the ground, and he'll take it all the way into the end zone.
Extra point up and good by Dicker.
And a rout is on here in this first half.
And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. And he'll be brought down shy of the 20, so the decision to bring it out of the end zone, not a good one. The Jaguars ready to go on offense for the final time in this first half.
And the ball backed way up, so thinking with this amount of time on the clock, probably just sit on it, and we'll see these two teams go to the lockers.
Yeah, I don't think you want to overthink it in this situation. Either side of the ball. Just go ahead and finish up that.
Oh, everything falling apart now. Another one intercepted. Picked off by Kelvin Joseph.
And his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half.
An unfortunate sequence there, trying to get points before intermission, but now the interception, and their opponents have a chance to possibly pad their lead.
Yeah, they had an opportunity there, and they weren't able to capitalize on it, and that's something that could come back and haunt them later. They're begging their defense now to keep them from scoring before the half ends. Trying to get that one to his tight end, and they've been trying to get the ball to him, but as of yet, unable to successfully complete one. But you know, there's usually a nice comfort zone and throw into the tight end. Great sight lines, usually right in the middle of the field.
An incomplete pass on first down. Here's second and goal. Throwing Jones. Got his tight end. That's complete. That's Smith. Touchdown, Saints. Irv Smith Jr. in the final seconds of the first half.
And the Saints will extend their lead here just before halftime. Extra point up and good by Dicker.
And a rout is on here in this first half.
Maybe time for one play on offense. 7 seconds to go in the half as the kick is away. And makes it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. The Jacksonville offense set to begin their next drive. And with only 4 seconds on the clock, time likely for just one snap of the football. Well, that's the 3rd interception for Lawrence. Xavier Woods with a pick. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. I cannot imagine a more perfect half of football for one side, CD, and a more disastrous half of football for another side. But if you focus on the positive half, with this pick 6, you look at where that lead is at, and to think that we are only in the second quarter. My goodness.
I love the expression. My goodness, indeed.
Looks like somebody's ready to begin the regular season, skipping over halftime here in the final game of the preseason. Third quarter, here we go.
And we welcome you back live now inside the booth alongside Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin, set and ready to rock for the third quarter.
And good coverage there on special teams as they'll get him down shy of the 20. Trevor Lawrence, helmet on, ready to go as he brings out this offense.
And he's got to be wondering what happened in that first half. 3 interceptions, very uncharacteristic.
And even the great ones go through phases like this, like what we just saw. And most of them, they have such a mental capacity to throw it out and essentially start over. I think that's where he's headed now.
He's got his opportunity to throw it out. Let's see how he does. Now here's a pass on first down that's knocked away and incomplete.
Just what they need, a lecture from me, but subpar offense is what helped get them into this spot. And now they're continuing the trend with incompletions. That won't get them out of it if they don't change something soon.
Lawrence.
That is caught. It's Chris Godwin. And they work this well upfield across the 45. A gain of 28 yards there and give them a first down.
Well, still in the third quarter here. Now, you look at the scoreboard, that deficit probably a little too much to overcome, but completions like that may be something to build on for future weeks.
Yeah, it's all about ending things on a strong note here, isn't it? Because my mindset is it's a new ball game from here to the end. Make sure it's a good one and close it out. I'm sure it was a tough halftime trying to figure out some strategy to get things going, trailing by a lot when they went into the locker room. He's just trying every avenue to spark his team here to begin the third quarter. Not a lot going on that play, though.
Lawrence going to throw again.
And he's taken down here by the Saints. It'll go in the books as a 7-yard loss on the sack, and it's third down.
So now after the sack of Lawrence, the Jags looking at a 3rd and long.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw.
And he's going to be taken down right at the 40-yard line.
That was no 3rd and 2. That was 3rd and 16, but they get the conversion anyway. So in Saints territory now. Here's 1st and 10 right at the 40.
Right back to Chris Godwin.
And he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on first down. They'll run with Hunt on 2nd down. And he'll go down at the 28. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a first down.
We're just looking at the scoreboard and where we're at in the third quarter. I don't know that it's going to matter much at this point, CD, but these small runs on the ground, they're not going to get it done.
No, they're not. And right now, the guys stopping the run have been...
And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception.
It's Kyler Duggar who picks it. And the Saints are going to have it here as they'll start at their own 7.
So it was a drive that had real promise here to begin the third quarter, but ultimately derailed by the INT.
And that was the position you wanted to be in, coming out to start this third quarter, get a nice drive going. A little bit too greedy right there.
They begin the drive with Robinson. And a productive gain out to the 14 after starting at the 7. It's a gain of 7.
Well, that last run makes this a 100-yard night. I've loved the way he's hit the holes. He's been quick, he's been decisive, and he's been a whole lot of fun to watch.
Now Jones.
And this throw incomplete. Well, the defender all over him that time, and it's going to lead to 3rd down.
One thing you hope to see out of a rookie tight end is a real concentration when the ball's in the air, and I'm not sure that he didn't, but he has to be prepared for people making a play on it when that ball's up for grabs.
Here's Jones. Off play action. And he's going to go down. Back at his own 5-yard line, it's a sack. It's a loss of 10 on the sack, and it leads to 4th. Here comes the Saints punter now. And no room for error here as his first punt comes from deep in his own end zone.
James now to return it.
It'll be a net of 40 yards following a punt of 44.
And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over.
Here comes the Jaguars offense as they get set here.
Well, we're still in the third quarter, so there's some time to kind of clean this up and make it look more respectable. Now, a win, that's probably gone out the window, Charles, but I don't know. Do you look at this as a time to just improve and maybe start to look towards the future?
I think you have to find something to play for, something to grasp onto until the clock runs out. But, Brandon, we've been around this game a long time. This is an outlier. You don't get many blowouts like this no matter how the game looks on paper going in. This one has turned out to be everyone's worst nightmare realized.
Well, the margin on that scoreboard, obviously, for them, it looks daunting. But I don't know, Charles. They're probably not focused on that right now. Maybe just chaining together a positive drive with plays like we just saw, giving themselves something to build on.
Yeah, I think you're right about that. And what they have to be careful of is getting glued to that scoreboard, trying to do too much. Because if you do that, you're all but guaranteed to start making mistakes. Just focus on one play at a time and make each one successful.
Glad to be in the great city of New Orleans, rolling along here in the third quarter, 2nd and 10.
Oh, he'll want that one back. Incomplete. He doesn't drop too many in that department. 3rd down. So another incompletion there. He's hitting on fewer than half his pass attempts in this one, and that is not a winning formula.
Yeah, so let's make sure we give a little bit of credit to the defense here. They've given him a lot to think about, a lot of different looks, and he seems a little bit confused trying to complete passes.
Now on 3rd down, that pass knocked down in the backfield and incomplete.
Well, defensively, they haven't let him just sit in the pocket and get comfortable, and that's opposite a lot of game plans in today's NFL. Ordinarily, you're trying to keep the quarterback hemmed in. In this case, they've brought the heat, and if he flushes out, they're fine with that, and they force another incompletion.
And he is going to have the Jaguars' first down, as that'll be a gain of 15 on 4th.
How about them biting off 15 yards there on the 4th down attempt and keeping the drive alive?
So this drive going to continue following the conversion on 4th. Here's 1st and 10.
Now, here's a look for the end zone, but that one's going to wind up incomplete. Brandon Cooks, the receiver he was going after, and that'll bring up 2nd down.
Red on red. Block. Here we go.
Looking to throw, Lawrence. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
Trying to decipher what's going on out there because I don't know if he's just getting bad reads. I don't know if the defense is confusing him. I don't know if he just has, bad info and intel before he snaps the ball. But he's made some pretty bad decisions with the football lately.
Yeah, several bad decisions on the interceptions he's thrown, and frankly, that should have been another pick right there. And he's going to come up well short as they rally up to stop him at about the 16. So the completion good for just 3. And that's going to bring up a 4th down.
And they'll try and throw for it with Lawrence.
And it's going to be batted down, and we'll go the other way with the football. The Jags come up empty on 4th down, and the Saints will have the football back. And they've now made 2 trips to the red zone and still looking for their first touchdown.
Not able to punch it in, and if you're on defense, your confidence is sky high. Because mentally, you're saying, hey, you're in the red zone. We're thinking we're giving up 3. We just want to give up 6. In this case, they end up not giving up the touchdown at all. They've got to feel great about what they got done.
And now a throw on 1st down there, but it's incomplete.
And there's a good opportunity to just want to ride there. A drop pass. I guess that's why they call them running backs and not catching backs.
Here's 2nd and 10.
To throw again. Jones. Oh, he'll want that one back. Incomplete. He doesn't drop too many in that department. Third down.
And those two just haven't been in sync thus far. They've done a nice job against him, but still, with his talent, you would expect them to have more completions to him in this game.
Now Jones on third down.
He had a man open, but he missed him, and it's incomplete.
Well, his struggles continue. Open targets, and he keeps missing them, pressing way too much. He may have a big arm, but until he learns how to harness it and have some touch, he's going to continue to struggle.
On the return, it's James. 44-yard punt, return of 9. And out will come the offense as they take over.
Get a look at receiver Chris Godwin as this offense returns for their next drive.
And I know that they've double-teamed him a couple times, but not a ton. Whatever they're doing isn't working. He's up over 100 yards. We'll see how they adjust.
And when they do that, they weaken their defense in other places as well. And how many times have we done games where we've seen a guy have a big game like this, but it's usually not by himself, is it?
Right.
Usually it opens it up for him.
And the Saints pressure gets him. Brought down for a sack. Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing second and a bundle. A throw there, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
And this drive was almost over before it began thanks to a great defensive effort. Sack on first down, followed by an incompletion. One more good rep, and they get off the field.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down.
Lawrence will throw. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he has a big gain inside the 40 before being dropped.
How about that? They weather the storm of a 3rd and 17 to pick up the first.
Now Lawrence.
Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
I think he had to unload that one before he wanted to. He was right up in his grill. I think he was a dentist there without a license, don't you?
Just not enough time for the play to develop. Just lucky it wasn't a fumble, really.
Now Lawrence to throw on second down.
And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
Well, the pressure, the hits, the sacks have been coming at him all game long. I'm frankly surprised that they haven't found a solution yet to create more time for him to throw it or maybe change what they do on offense.
And that's one of the biggest differences in this game and why they're losing right now. Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions.
Throwing again here. It's Lawrence.
Being chased, and he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. It's a loss of 10 on the sack, and it leads to 4th. And they're not going to get to the line to run another play. So we will switch ends as the third quarter. Back now here live in New Orleans. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the fourth quarter. A very one-sided affair.
Ready.
And now the first throw for the backup quarterback. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. The Jags come up empty on 4th down. And this defense is going to get the football back near midfield, right at the 48. So the defense asked to stay out and get one more stop. They were able to do it, forcing the incompletion.
So on their record, that goes down as a successful play. Doesn't matter how they got there, how it happened. They got it done. They're the ones that are jubilant.
Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Again, it's Charbonnet. And good space to operate there as he takes this down inside the 35-yard line. 40 yards rushing for him now on just his first 3 carries.
So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10.
And now a handoff to Charbonnet.
Illegal block in the back. Offense.
So they accept the penalty, of course, and push the offense backwards a bit. On the give, here's Charbonnet.
There he goes, left side. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop it. Good yardage as he rumbles for 24 out of first.
Yeah, they really needed to get something going, didn't they? They had punted on the last 2 possessions. The running game starting to come to the front for them, providing a nice pickup there to keep this drive going.
They'll go with Snell here on first down.
And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. That's going to wind up a loss of a full 3 yards on first down. So their task a little bit more difficult now. 2nd and 13 that they're walking up on.
Now run by Charbonnet.
And that'll hurt the average a bit as this time they're able to get him behind the line. This will be a loss of 3 and now a much tougher 3rd down looming. Run blitz there defensively, something we might see more of here in the 4th quarter.
I think we'll see a lot of it, and the difference between that and a pass blitz, you're just trying to get to the quarterback. You're trying to scheme someone open who will get to the QB and make sure he gets on the ground. In a run blitz, you're actually trying to cover up gaps, trying to cover up holes so they can't run the football.
The offense on 3rd down tonight, they're at 50%, 4 for 8. This is 3rd and 16.
Throwing here, Corral.
And that is incomplete.
Well, let's face it, not a lot left for them to prove in this game, but they're still throwing the football. I guess, of course, CD, you could always get the backups some work. There's new plays to try out. But some people, let's face it, they just want to run the score up. It's fun.
I love the way that you expressed that because you gave plenty of reasons why people like to do things. But ultimately, they just like to keep their foot on the gas and they just want to trap on teams. And what I like to see is, if you like to do that, how do you handle it when it comes back against you? On those days where someone can run it up on you, do you handle it the way that you expect your opponent to? If so, keep doing your thing.
And he'll go down as this drive will start at the 25-yard line.
Out comes the Jacksonville offense as they get set to take over here.
Where we stand right now in the 4th quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You would have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, how do we put this behind us and get better for the next time out? This, they'll use as motivation for the rest of the time that they play to hopefully never be in this type of situation again. Well, depending on the temperament of the head coach, he's either turning to the bench and screaming, where was that all game? Or maybe he's just kind of keeping it to himself and saying, okay, it's something to build on, and a positive comes out of a bad game because those are going to happen from time to time. We'll see how he gets his team ready to go in the future. But that run right there, that's what they were looking for. Just about every quarterback is trained to really look downfield first before you come back and make a nice, safe throw. And in this case, that's exactly what he did. Found his running back, let him create some space, and it turned out to be a nice play for the offense.
This 2nd and 4.
Looking to throw. Miller over the middle, complete. That's right. 7 yards there and a first down.
Hurry! Ready.
Operating from the gun. Miller. And incomplete on the deep ball.
They lead big, and a major part of that has been how they've taken their play to a whole new level this second half. No points allowed since the break, and you can add another incompletion to the total number that they forced in this runaway contest.
Now a deep ball there on 2nd down, but it'll wind up incomplete.
Even with such a big lead late, the effort hasn't lapsed one bit. If the offense wants to score some points in this one, they're going to have to earn it. These guys are not giving up anything.
Now play play number 7 of the drive as they're looking at a 3rd and 10. Again, he'll drop to throw.
He's got his target. That's complete.
And this is going to be another first down as the tackle's made at the Saints 19. A nice pickup of 23 on the 3rd down conversion.
Well, a touchdown here on this drive, it wouldn't really put much of a dent in the score, the deficit right now, but as you mentioned in the past, CD, their coach is probably just hoping to see something executed correctly. Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Antonio Johnson.
Well, he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown.
Dicker now to tack on the extra point.
Now this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. So the defense creating some points, not only getting the interception, but then returning it to the end zone for the pick 6.
And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line.
And now out come the Jags.
We said it at halftime that they would need a nearly perfect second half to erase that deficit that they were facing, CD. But unfortunately, the second half has pretty much been a carbon copy of the first.
Yeah, that early lead was almost insurmountable the way their opponent was playing. And, partner, they do have some good news, though. This one is getting close to being over, and they can try and hit the reset button starting tomorrow.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
That's coverage you'd expect to see in a tie game late. Not in a lopsided game like this. They are not letting up.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down.
Ready?
Back to throw. Miller. And he's taken down here by the Saints. Now you've got to hustle your guys to the line and get them set. Miller now. Off the play fake. Keeps himself upright. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. And that'll bring up 4th down on a big sack with a loss of 5.
Partner, my vocabulary isn't that great, but to me, there's only one word that fits this front 7 today, and that's dominant. 4 and 5 sacks is already rare in one game. Getting to more than 6 in one contest while winning by this many points, an absolutely astounding effort by everyone.
And he's brought down. Can't do anything with a football. It's a sack and a turnover on downs. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And now, boy, the ball's going to go over on downs here inside the 10-yard line. Well, they probably don't need to run a play here, but you wonder if they're going to be able to resist on 1st and goal.
On the carry, Charbonnet. And a nice job to break free of one tackle, but it slowed his momentum somewhat, and he's taken down right after.
They give him 5 that time as they draw a bit closer here for a 2nd and goal.
Charbonnet.
And he'll take this for a short gain on what will prove to be the final play of this ball game. So this one a victory here for New Orleans. And it was their defense that really made the statement after the